You walk onto the bright lot, approach a fresh buy-up, and immediately they step backward, hands raised. "I'm just looking," they say. It is the most common and frustrating defensive wall you will hit in automotive sales. But that defense mechanism is predictable, which means it can be systematically dismantled. We use a repeatable 7-step process designed specifically to guide that defensive posture all the way to a signed contract. This framework maps directly to the physical geography of your dealership. You start outside on the lot, move inside to the showroom, and finish at the desk. Without this structural roadmap, you leave the buyer to wander. That lack of direction leads straight to choice paralysis, skipped steps, and ultimately negotiations that collapse over a few dollars. Closing a deal relies on controlling the buyer's journey from start to finish. When you dictate the pace and sequence, you protect the final gross profit. Step 1 happens right out on the vibrant lot, the meet and greet. Your objective here is simple. Keep your body language open, welcoming, and entirely non-threatening. When they hit you with that just looking objection, use the WBG pivot. Agree with them immediately to lower their guard, and follow up with a broad, open-ended question about what kind of vehicle drew them in. Once they start talking, you move to step 2, qualifying. As you can see on this digital checklist, your job right now is active listening, not pitching. You need to gather their specific constraints before you even think about showing them a car. Look at this balancing scale. You're often dealing with conflicting needs. One buyer wants aggressive performance, while the other demands safety and cargo space. Find the exact middle ground. If you guess, you land on the wrong side. Pitching a mismatched vehicle destroys credibility. Treat your qualification phase as a strict diagnostic tool. Doing the work up front completely eliminates the risk of pitching a car that does not fit. With the constraints mapped out, bring them inside to the showroom for step 3, selection. We operate on a strict rule here. You narrow your inventory down and select exactly one specific vehicle to show them. This flowchart illustrates exactly why. A single, clear path leads directly to a sale. If you offer the customer 3 or 4 different options, the path splinters into dead ends. You trigger choice paralysis, and your sales momentum stops cold. Now you begin step 4, the presentation. Walk out to that single selected vehicle and use the FAB technique, feature, advantage, benefit, to construct a logical value pitch. Here's how FAB maps out. Point out the feature, the alloy frame. Explain the advantage, crash absorption. Conclude with the benefit, peace of mind. Apply this same logic for the performance buyer. Connect engine output to smooth highway merging, delivering the aggressive drive they want. Step 5 takes them off the lot for the demo drive. Place the buyers in a scenic, physical environment. You let the vehicle's engineering do the heavy lifting. The car essentially sells itself. While they are behind the wheel experiencing peak emotional attachment, you execute a trial close. Ask a simple question that forces them to visualize their future ownership, like where they plan to drive it on their first weekend trip. When you combine the structural logic of the FAB framework with the emotional high of the demo drive, you secure the customer's mental commitment long before you ever discuss a price. The test drive ends and you transition back inside to the serious, structured environment of the sales desk. This begins step 6, the write-up. You must present the initial numbers with total confidence. Lay out the market price, the taxes, and the standard down payment financing options clearly on the desk. Watch the customer's reaction. Almost inevitably, they will lean back, eyes wide, hit hard by sticker shock when they see the monthly payment reality. Do not panic. Your immediate task is to isolate the objection. Ask direct questions to determine if they are rejecting the overall price of the vehicle itself or if they are simply struggling with the monthly payment structure. Once you isolate the exact financial hurdle, you enter step 7, negotiation. This is where you deploy the turnover or TO strategy. Bring in your sales manager to adjust the term lengths, bridge that final monetary gap, and issue the final trial close. Price negotiations operate as a structured, collaborative team exercise. By utilizing your managers, you protect the dealership's gross profit rather than fighting a solo battle against the buyer. Look at this complete sequence. From the initial meet and greet all the way through to the final negotiation, these 7 steps form a unified, repeatable engine for every single transaction on the floor. This specific WBG framework anticipates the buyer's natural defenses and systematically dismantles them at every stage of the journey. An unstructured sales attempt leaves you stressed and constantly reacting to the customer. Following this roadmap gives you calm, professional authority. Mastering this specific sequence is the foundation of the Ward Business Group methodology, detailed across our entire on-demand video training library. True sales champions treat every walk-in as a predictable process. Log in to the WBG Trading Academy, access the full library, and take control of your next deal.